Coming today, and I wanted just to ask you just simply about your impressions of these old wines from the 40s, 50s, and 60s.
So the impressions were, a first in most cases, because most of the wines I haven't tasted before, and it was particularly interesting for me to taste some wines which came from vintages I wasn't really that familiar with, and to see how, some of the vintages which are not regarded as the greatest still are very fresh, and to see in general how fresh good Rieslings can stay, even if it's not a good vintage. So the freshness part and the ageability of the wines was, I think, the key impression of the whole tasting. And then, of course, on the tables we had discussions which was the favorite one, and I think this is a personal question. If you prefer this or that wine, or this or that style, or a little bit more opulent wines, a little bit more elegant or slim wines. But I think the freshness was always there, including at the 43.
Yeah,
which,
amazing. I was amazed at the freshness as well, and also the balance. In some wines you had this leaner expression and some a richer expression, but all of them had a balance through to the finish.
Right.
And I suppose one of my surprises was that I preferred some of the lower Predicat wines, the Auslese as opposed to the finer Auslese and Feinster Auslese. What was the surprise? Were there any surprises for you?
But more like the freshness of those, not of vintages, but rather little or at least not great vintages. There were some like 63 or 43. That was the biggest surprise. I think the difference between the Auslese and fine or Feinster Auslese was not that evident in some cases, but I'm not sure if it's if this is really not the big difference, or it's just a question of this day when they were tasted. And of course it would be interesting to do a similar tasting in a couple of years and then see again how the wines develop. And I think with more time the finer Feinster Auslese will prove that they are
so they'll reach their peak later, perhaps.
Yeah.
So it's an astonishing long period of time, this maturity. So we tasted, for example, 63, not such a good vintage, and they were in great condition. Do you think that the wines that we're now buying today, 05, 06, 07, 08, for example, do you think that they're different to the wines that your grandfather made?
Of course, vinification-wise, the whole vinification process, also at our estate, which is a very traditional estate in winemaking, is developing. So there are some things which are different today than in those times, but I think the general approach has stayed the same. So style-wise, it's not a big difference. Of course, the global warming is helping us to achieve more ripeness, so the overall concentration or ripeness is a little bit higher, resulting in a Spätlese today having the same concentration as an Auslese in those days. So the Auslese we tasted today would be Spätlesen. For aging, I think we can expect at least such a long ageability. I think even more.
So perhaps then today to buy wines that are going to age like the regular Auslese that we tried today, we should be buying much more Spätlesen wines.
Yeah, or Auslese to wait even longer, or both, which is the nicest. So if the Spätlese is out, you can move on to the Auslese. I think it's nice to have both, but it showed that it's not only the Auslese which keep that alive.
And today we also had some older wines with a label that we don't see today, this Zeltinger Vellener Sonneur. This is a blend of the two Sonnenauer vineyards from the two villages.
Yeah, that was something my grandfather was very proud of, and usually was the best wine to use of a certain category. So we had the Auslesen and finer Auslesen. Best plots from both vineyards being blended. It was something which was allowed until 1969. So my father did it. He took over in 1969, and he did it in his first vintage. Starting from 1970, it was not allowed any longer to produce it, with good reason. So that was not a big change of the German law, but it was interesting, of course, to taste the wines. But we do not miss the opportunity.
Something of a house style.
Right,
your grandfather's wines. Interesting. Well, anyway, Katharina, thank you very much for coming over.
Thank you for inviting me. It was a great opportunity for me as well.